welcome back. I could not get my video out last week because I was traveling across the United States. I was on a little family vacation. I did not have time to edit. I recorded, just couldn't edit it, so I posted my graphic. As you can see, have my Halloween getup, my spooky getup here. I know it's not October yet, but I'm festive. It's the 28th at the time of this recording, and on the 28th is Thursday Night Football. So let me pull up my notes here and jump straight into it. Actually, last week we went 10-6, so another 10-6, which brings us to 29-19, if I recall correctly. And we got 3-0 on Lock of the Week and 1-2 on Upset of the Week. All right, so now we're going to jump in Thursday Night Football. At the time that you're watching this, it may be over. It may be going still. But all I know is that it starts at 5:15 Pacific Standard Time, and it is 4:17. So I know, a little bad planning, bad time management by me. But let's jump into the predictions. So the Lions and Packers. The Packers squeaked out a clutch comeback win last week with most of their stars out. They had Jair out, David Bakhtiari was out, Aaron Jones was out. You could point toward Carr getting hurt in that game and the Saints offense stalling and them missing a game-winning field goal or go-ahead field goal. But a W is a W, so respect. Their defense was getting beat a lot by Chris Olave. And if Jair Alexander is out again, which I'm pretty sure he is, then we'll see the same case with Amon-Ra St. Brown. It'll be a close one, and it was a toss-up, but I'm going to go with the Lions in this one. They just shut down the Falcons' offense, which is not a tall task, but a tall task is holding Bijan to only 60 yards of scrimmage on 14 touches. It's pretty impressive. Seeing what he did against the Packers especially. But if Detroit can contain Aaron Jones, a banged-up Aaron Jones, if he does play, if they can do that, then they should have no problem winning this game. Next, we have the Falcons and the Jags in the London game and the Toy Story, I think it's like Football Fun Day, something like that. 6:30 in the morning for me. Am I going to get up? I'm going to try. Last year, the Saints played in London. I did not get up. I slept through the entire game. Woke up to texts from a bunch of people. Oh, man, that was such a great game, dude. How do you feel? I mean, the Saints lost, and I was hungover, so I didn't feel good. I actually felt terrible. So hopefully I can get around to watching it this time. I'm excited for this Toy Story broadcast. I wonder what it's going to look like. I know they're supposed to have, like, Andy's feet or the football field in Andy's room. But we'll see if I can make it. I could watch a replay or something if I don't. It's basically a home game for Jacksonville. They always play in London. But it seems like the Jags defense has a tendency to give up big plays in the last few weeks. Actually, in every week. They gave a 39-yarder up to Michael Pittman. They gave a 54-yarder up to Sky Moore and a 68-yarder to Tank Dell last week. They are taking on the Falcons, who don't have a great passing game, who is ranked 29th in yards through the air. The run game is kind of inconsistent with Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson. And the Jags have a top 10 rushing defense. The Falcons don't have a consistent weapon to turn to in their offense. And because of that, I think that the Jags defense should hold up well enough for them to get this win. Next, we have the Bucs and the Saints. I called the Saints losing that last week, but I did not know it was going to go down like that. It's really shitty. We got a quarterback and he's hurt. I mean, Jameis didn't do terrible when he came in, but we did miss a game-winning field goal. And the thing is, I was watching it the whole time when I was in the airport. I was having B-dubs, enjoying a buffalo chicken sandwich. I know I didn't get wings, kind of weird, but I was like, dude, this is awesome. As soon as I'm walking through the gate to get on my plane to fly back, car goes down with an injury, and I'm just like looking at it before we take off, and I see the score just changing because my flight was delayed. So I just kept watching it. We were sitting on the runway, kept watching the game. The score kept changing, and nothing was changing for the Saints. So that sucked. But now we have something to look forward to with Kamara being back. So hopefully there will be a little bit more offensive production even with Jameis Winston. Every game they've been in has been a one-score game or a one-score deficit in each final, whether they won or lost. The offense under Baker for the Buccaneers looks good, but that's when they've been playing poor defenses. They played the Vikings, and I forget who they played week 2, but they didn't have a good defense either. But they played the Eagles, who do have a good defense. They only put up 11 points, and the other two, they put up 20 and 27. So I'm going to take the Saints here as unbiasedly as I can, especially since it's a home game for New Orleans. But what I can lock in is that I'm taking the over for 1.5 fights in this game between Marshawn and Mike Evans, or them being involved. Next, we have the Dolphins and the Bills. Even though the Bills just came off of back-to-back blowout wins, I cannot bring myself to picking against a team who just dropped 70 points last week. They had a chance to break the record, but they didn't. I'm just going to ride the back of the offense on this, even if the Bills' defense has only given up 2 or 3 touchdowns this year in total. This is probably going to be their biggest threat. It actually definitely is going to be their biggest threat on the offensive side of the ball. The Dolphins are the best offense in the league currently. So I think that this game will be telling on what the Bills can do on defense for the rest of the year if they are able to contain the Dolphins' offense. But I don't think that they're going to be able to contain it enough, so give me the Dolphins in this one. Next, we have the Broncos and the Bears. I mean, talk about a shitstorm of a game. One team had 41 dropped on them, and usually that's pretty bad. That'd be kind of the focus of a shitty performance, but this other team had 70 points dropped on their fucking head. This game is going to be absolutely boring, a fucking snooze fest, and I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to put myself through it, but I will put myself in a position that I am not comfortable with. A position that sees me, an unintentionally certified Bears hater, put my faith in a team that has done nothing but let their fan base down for years. 13 straight losses. They are home underdogs to a team that just gave up 70 points. They're pissed. They're pissed off that Travis Kelce's girlfriend is getting more coverage than they are. So they're going to use this anger. And use this anger against a team that just let up 70 points. Surely Justin Fields and that offense can put something on the board, right? 70 points. Surely they could do something. Give me the Chicago Bears in the upset of the week. Next, we have the Ravens and the Browns. One of the best defenses in the league who has only allowed 6 points in both of their home games this year. The Cleveland Browns are taking on a Ravens offense who doesn't have much of a rushing attack outside of Lamar Jackson and a passing offense that ranks 25th in the league. I think this one's kind of easy. I'm taking the Browns. Next, we have the Bengals and the Titans. And staying on the topic of defense, the Titans' defense, their secondary, not very good. So lucky for Cincinnati, they are coming in with a struggling offense. It needs some tuning up, and what better defense to go up against than the Titans' secondary? The Titans' pass rush and run defense will be a bit of a struggle for Cincinnati, but they can make up for it by attacking the 28th ranked secondary or passing defense in the league. If last week was any indication for the Bengals offense, is that Jamar Chase should find some success this week, so I'm going to take him. I'm going to take the Bengals to beat the Titans. Next, we have the Rams and the Colts. The Rams have had some good showings on offense, aside from turnovers and the run game. Stafford's thrown 2 picks in back-to-back games, and the Rams have averaged only 84 yards on the ground per game. Luckily for them, Colts pass defense is ranked 23rd, so they are not great, and LA currently has a top 5 passing attack. If Stafford can cut down on the turnovers, the defense can put the defense can put a stop to Zach Moss and a returning AR. I think they got this one in the bag. Next, we have the Commanders and Eagles. The Eagles just look really good. They are a great team. Like Nick Sirianni said, they're not at their best yet, but even not at their best, they are better than a Commanders team that just threw 4 interceptions last week, got manhandled by the Bills. They did have that comeback win, but it was against the Cardinals. So I'm pretty comfortable with taking the Eagles here, and that's what I'm going to do. Vikings and the Panthers. 2 more 0-3 teams. One is significantly better than the other, in my opinion. The Vikings offense is one of the best in the league. It's actually the best behind Miami, I think. The Panthers have a decent secondary, but I don't think that's going to stop Kirko and Jettas from producing. With the Vikings having a defense that's currently struggling, I can see this game kind of similarly turning out to the Panthers and Seahawks game from last week. But in that game, the Panthers did lose, and the same thing is going to happen here. Give me the Vikings. Steelers and the Texans. I went a little bit back and forth on this one because the Steelers are kind of tricky to me. They got railed by the 49ers, and then they got a win against the Browns off of their defense scoring 2 touchdowns, but they also gave up 100 yards, over 100 yards to Jerome Ford on the ground. And then they were in a very close game with the Raiders, but they gave up over 300 yards to Jimmy G, and Devontae went for almost 200. So their defense is very contradicting in their 3 games, I'd say. So I don't really know how to feel about them. What I do know is that the Texans have some playmakers on their offense. Nico Collins and Tank Dell are becoming a solid duo right now. They have made up for their lackluster run game. Worst yards per carry in the league with 2.8 yards per carry, and they're tied with somebody else. I don't remember. But they're good through the air. The Texans are coming off a big divisional win against the Jags, and I think they're going to ride that momentum into this game and take another win against the Steelers. Next, we have the Patriots and the Cowboys. The Cowboys fell into a trap game last week. That's basically what happened. What should have been an easy win was spoiled by the gritty Cardinals defense and Josh Dobbs. Their defense, absent of Trayvon Diggs, gave up the most yards they have all season, which was still only 189 yards. The run defense was mainly the one that got exposed because they gave up over 200 yards on the ground. And the reason I'm noting that is because, 1, that's a lot of fucking yards, and 2, Ezekiel Elliott revenge game. You know Zeke's going to have a little bit more motivation for this week, and he's got that date circled on his calendar. But will it be enough? Will him and Ramondre be enough to take down the Cowboys in Dallas? I don't think so. Dallas is a team who's dominated the first 2 weeks, and I think they just had a small hiccup in a game that they should have won. I'm not too worried about Arizona, about the loss in Arizona. I think they get back on track. The Patriots are a solid team. They've got a solid defense, but I just have a gut feeling with the Cowboys on this one. Next, we have the Cardinals and the 49ers. Previously mentioning the Cardinals, they have a gritty defense. Josh Dobbs has been way better than I anticipated. They've been giving these teams hell, basically, and they might pass the 3-14 record prediction that I gave them. Both losses were only 1-score games, but that was against the Giants and the Commanders, 2 teams that are not as good as the one they play this week, the 49ers. The most dominant team in the league so far, unless you want to say that the Dolphins were. But I won't go too deep in this one. I think that the 49ers are going to win this, and I could use my lock of the week on it, but Sunday Night Football, Chiefs, Jets. This is just another one that seems really easy, and it's going to be my lock of the week because it just seems like the Jets are falling apart with Zach Wilson under center. No one believes in him. And when the coach tries to publicly support him, give him some confidence, the team is getting pissed. They're getting fucking mad. It's a dumpster fire over in New York. And they don't have an easy matchup to, like a little tune-up game, get Zach Wilson's feet under him. They're playing the Chiefs. And I think that the Chiefs are going to plow through them, no problem. Lock it in. Chiefs over Jets, lock of the week. Then we have the last game of the week, Monday Night Football, Seahawks versus Giants. The Seahawks got back on track in weeks 2 and 3, putting up 37 in both games. The Giants' defense has given up just around 32 points per game this year, and they are struggling to stop basically any form of offense at this point. So I think Ken Walker and Zach Charbonnet are going to benefit the most from this Giants defense that is they're being so I could see them putting up a decent amount of points. So give me the Seahawks to take the win in Monday Night Football. Well, thank you for watching. I actually got my picks out. Maybe not on time because it's not before the Thursday game. But I got them out for you guys. I've got a couple more videos planned. Maybe not this week, but coming out within the next week and a half, 2 weeks, I guess. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching once again. Till the next video. See you later.